What up, what up, what up? Good morning and welcome back to another live session. Another beautiful day in the markets indeed. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, as you're tuning in, be sure to hit that thumbs up and remember, as usual, day trading is always risky business. There are no guarantees here. As Marcelo would say, it's a zero-sum game, which means someone else is always on the other side of your trades, whether another trader, an institution, a hedge fund, a retail trader, a bank, a market maker, a short seller, all the above, and others even, right? So remember that day trading can definitely be unforgiven. All right. So for those of you, especially who are new, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to trading, remember slowest is the fastest way. Take your time, gain the necessary experience, become competent, learn the ins and outs, learn how to manage risk, and only after seeing good consistency does it make sense to expose yourself to a lot of risk, aka using more capital, more money, more share size. With that being said, remember to always be careful of fake accounts of the lead members here in the community, whether it's a fake Relentless account, fake Marcelo account. Be very careful of fake accounts in general. We will never message you first. Also, be careful of fake advertisements, as some people do steal the content from time to time and try to run an ad. We've seen a bunch of different craziness over the years, so stay safe out there. And with that long disclaimer, let's talk about what's moving up today. So ATHA, which is one of the ones I'm looking at right now, it's been mostly sideways. I was hoping we could see a breakout here earlier in this move up, and I took a small 10-cent loss, down $70 to start the day. So into the open, with the volume that we usually would get, I'd hope it's able to break over the current range and give us a break over the pre-market highs. Those levels, so pre-market highs clocking in at 785. 785. 786, I guess that'll work. And the high of the current range, these current candlesticks here, we have 43. So we'll need to get over 45.50 and hold to potentially get to the next level here for ATHA. It hasn't been good so far. That doesn't mean that it cannot be good moving forward into the open. So that's what I'll be watching at to see how well we can hold up that level to potentially, make new highs. So far, the consolidation actually is holding up really well. I probably should have been in again. It's looking like we could see an ABCD setup here. Um, let's see. I'll pull up the chart, the scanner here quickly. Lulu, man. Lululemon swing trade at 225, Big Steve. I would have been up nicely. Hold up. Been up nicely, brother. Okay, we're back to 13 again. The third time here. Yeah, on the scans, we have SOCH, which is second place with 56%, eight $8 stock with 5 million shares of volume. Um, it doesn't. I don't know. It seems more slow. Like, it doesn't seem like super active. It's hard to say if we will see some strength out of that one. For those of you who did take a look at it, you'll see what I'm talking about. PAVS, on the other hand. A little bit of a red to green action there. Daily chart curling up from the bottom of the 7Cs. 284. So it's somewhere, well, we'll have to like zoom in quite a bit, but yeah, this doesn't really look that good on the daily chart. But we'll see. ATHA daily chart. Let me just double check this one. We're currently at $7, so we're above the 200 EMA, which is good. We're like up here and all-time highs. Well, nope, not all-time highs. Looks like we had a couple of splits. 10 for 1. Yeah, we had a split, but we're at least in a place where we could fill some gap. So there's that. But again, we've seen markets where a lot of our stocks have been at all-time highs, blue sky setups, right? Now we're not really seeing as much of that. We're seeing more so, hey, a bounce off the low, a curling up off the bottom out of nowhere kind of thing is more of what we've been seeing. There's my alarm for screen recording. So I'll come back to single screen. Going down on the list, there's PAVS, DJT, which we haven't seen in a while. DJT. Actually, I'm curious to see how low this one went. Marcelo had a nice swing trade on this stock, man. I think it was back in, was it this area here? Yeah, I think it was like this stretch right here. The Mighty was dialed into this trade here, like from $10 to $70, $80. I think it was back in this time frame, or I don't know. I mean, shoots, I can't remember, but it had to have been somewhere back then. Steve, are you in the chat? Oh, he's not here yet. Let me add him. Hold up. Big Steve, bro. 225. 225. I'm feeling a little bit of FOMO. I cannot lie. All right, let's see time. It's 26. Let's bring it back. DJT, I don't know. Maybe there's something here today, but obviously we want to see the first 5, 10, 15 minutes of the open, which stock ends up taking off to be the stock. If not, we just want to be on the sidelines and really be careful not to overtrade on a day where there's just not much going on. So I guess for the watch list, there is ATHA, which I'm hoping is the strong one. There's SOC, which is hard to tell if we're going to get a big move. There's DJT, which does look okay. And then there's also PAVS. Some people might like some other ones, but we have Mighty with a detailed watch list here as well. For those of you tuning in on the live stream, be sure to hit the thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We're gonna go back to single screen, and we're gonna be watching ATHA into the open. So a couple of quick things. As usual, we want to remember here to follow our rules. We want to remember to stay vigilant, to stay focused, to stay present and aware at all times. In the event that we do have a stock that's really good, for me, one of the bigger things I've been trying to work on is to be more aggressive in the earlier setups that I'm seeing working out and not waiting too long to take size. So definitely will be looking to continuing to push myself in that aspect if we do end up having a strong stock today. If nothing looks good, then of course, we're going to be sidelines. But in the event something goes up, we will do what needs to be done according to size, right? So that with following our rules of engagement towards A quality setups, taking the trades with confidence, and looking forward to having tight stops, buying the key support areas, and if we do also get a hyper scalping stock, it's going to be key to flip this switch quickly into being aggressive for quicker scalps on other platform like Webull. So got to keep that in mind as well, because we have been seeing a few stocks that's been halting up and kind of going crazy like back in the days momentum of last year. So if we see one of those, we have to be at the ready to take out the assault rifle and put away the sniper, and vice versa. For those of you who don't know, I do love the military analogies. I'm not gonna lie. So much so that I was at the gun range last night. ATHA. There's an early attempt at 50. Does it have what it takes? An early attempt at 50. MGRT halted down. I think that one was from yesterday. So we're seeing some action here. We're seeing 74 highs. I'm only in with a starter there. Really small size. I was looking for more of a pullback. It seems to be holding very tightly for now, which might be the trend here. What's the time? 33. So far, so good. Taking another starter here and watching with tight stops. That was a really good dip. Again, I gotta push myself here. The highs are at 93. What's the time? We're kind of early in the move still, but I want to be careful nevertheless. I had two decent trades. One with only 100 shares, the other one with 1,200 shares. It seems like we're having some trouble at 80 for now. Will we be able to get over 80? If so, can we see 90 and a test of $8? Is it worth trying again? I think so. My nose is so stuffy. Oh, there's 80. No fill? Oh my goodness. Wow. No fills? Ah, damn it, man. That's tough. It still needs to get over 80 here. I think I'll have to just wait till I'm probably not gonna touch it again till it gets over the whole dollar because I'm not in, and it's a little tricky here at 80. Come on, rip through, rip through. Bro, I can't believe I didn't get filled. Like, it's just unbelievable. 0 shares got filled. Like, there's 83. Come on. Push us, show us to 90. Show us 90. Can we see, can we push to 90 here? Which is also the pre-market highs, like 86, I think 85 is the pre-market high on that topping wick. I don't know if I can trust it, you know, here. It's a little tough to say. It needs to get through 85. Let's see if it's able to push through the whole dollar. Damn, that's a high fill. Did I overcompensate too much? $95 and what? $95 and $99. I'm not gonna lie, if I had market orders there, I would have done way better. Like, I'm not getting the fills I need, but you know, I suppose I gotta give more call outs to him, kind of more quiet here. It looks good, and I'm waiting for another pullback, actually. The highs are now 36. It's hard to say where the dip will go because of how much we just boosted up, but we look pretty bullish. We broke over 785, which was the pre-market high, and now there's a chance that this thing can open up here. Right now we're green $460, and we're gonna try to make the most out of it. Time. So I took only like 200 shares there, watching for it to go lower. It's already back up, right? This is what once we start to extend, it's hard to tell where the dip is going to be. So it's hard to take size right away. I'm actually hoping there's a reset and another consolidation before it goes again, because that can give me a chance to like get in with a position, you know. If it keeps going here, I'm probably not going to get the size. That last dip at you know below 8 was a good opportunity, and I'm still working on like hitting the buy button because I'm buying with a low offset. Like, so when I get filled high, it's like shocking, you know, and it kind of throws me off for what I'm thinking, like where I should be in versus where I'm actually in, and it's causing me to like sell some early, break even for a lower fill. But it looks like it might be going here without really doing. That's fine. All right. Okay. Okay. Cool. I'm gonna have to risk it. Oh, oh, damn. Damn, that's a botch trade, bro. And I buy back, I get 13. It looks like it just kind of pulled back a little more there that time. Oh, that is brutal. You know, you buy, you get the uptick. 7 cents uptick. Okay. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Bro, what? What is going on with this thing now? Can we not fluctuate like that? I think it's good. I think it's good. I think it's bottomed out. Like it, you know, it just kind of shook me out there. It just got a little wide in the range, but and that was the third time to that level, right? Which is more understanding as to why it's moving like this. Like we pulled back to this area here. This is our third time doing it. The first two times again, I'm not in with size. You know, gotta keep working on that. So watching it, well, I'm watching it again because it's holding. So I think I think we'll keep holding here. It's more than likely gonna break out. Although I'm not in, right? That's the bad thing about it, is that I'm not in. I kind of botched that dip is what happened. A little bit more tough, but if it's strong, we'll see even more opportunities. So waiting patiently. The highs are 36. Hmm. Mm-mm-mm. It's tough to take the breakout trade. It's fighting for it. It's fighting for the breakout. And 35? Not quite. Damn. a fish out of water here without an entry right now. Does it remain on the offensive here to test the highs? Ah, not a good trade. Not a good trade. Our 5 minute candlestick is struggling here. Hmm. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like, kind of losing my rhythm here a little bit. Which in it is still a higher low, granted to the actual lows. It's like a pretty big flag here. I bought high thinking we could retest high. It's not ready yet. It's a pullback fairly close to the lows. And that was our third time. I'm thinking I might need it to make a new high again. Hopefully it goes here. Hopefully it rips to 50, 60. Short sellers who maybe are taking a short position against the highs can get squeezed. It might fail here. I don't know. It's hard to say. It's looking dicey. My analysis, I'd say, been a little off since the 9:43 candlestick. If it breaks down, we probably don't want to see below 85 if it does come down. If this candlestick holds up on the 5, then, we get a chance to retest the highs. PAVS. The only trade I'm interested in here is like the reclaim if it comes down. And it doesn't look like we'll see one. It looks like it's cooked city. 85 is that big level again. And PAVS, not much. A little bit of frustration for not making over 1K on this move. I'm gonna go mad. This red to green, this is definitely worth watching still, right? Like, you know, it's still bullish. It just kind of comes down to how this setup here works out. Bro, we're getting way too many good trades early. Like, I feel like I'm going mad here. All right. PAVS seems like it's moving too slowly. Okay. Damn, that was not good. Well, $200. I'll take it. PAVS, is it able to go up a little quicker here? I did try 83. I mean, although it was a breakout trade, that was probably part of the issue. This one is definitely done. Man, what a freaking botch, bro. That's enough to be 1K. Easy. Keep making the same mistakes of not sizing, bro. Taking starter here, PAPS. All right. It's moving fairly well here. We'll see if it continues to hold up. PAVS watching. The next level is over 3 if it's able to hold up. I'm back in again, watching. What we really want to see is over $3. Ah, these freaking stocks, bro. They move so weird. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Hold up. I need to wait. I don't know what it wants to do here. Once we saw 95 again, I was like certain we're gonna test 3. Then I'm seeing 280. You know. Oh my gosh, bro. Oh, I'm trying not to go mad here. I'm trying to keep my cool, Steve. Steve, trying to keep my patience. 82. What's the low? We got high 70s. The VWAP is all the way down at 71. Are we gonna pull back tilt to the VWAP here? Is what it's looking like. Maybe we're seeing a 5-minute candlestick pullback. 61. Holy smokes! I'm getting smoked. Taking the L on that trade. I'm feeling today's one of those days. I'm feeling like I need like one of those squeeze balls to help manage me here. But the frustration is coming from the other stock, right? Because I keep kind of having the same issue, you know? It's like when the stock is done is when I'm ready finally to like, yo, all right, you know what? This next setup I'm taking size. Where is that energy on the first setup? Where's that mindset on the first trade, the second trade? I'm getting soft in my old age here as a trader. It's a good recovery here on PAVS though. I I almost took 61, but you know it's a good bounce. I'll keep an eye here to see maybe if it turns into something, but it would have been good to get over the whole dollar there. It definitely can move when it starts to move. It can move up quickly. So that's a quick bounce off the VWAP below the VWAP there. Good recovery. This stock could definitely be a good one if it gets into a strong uptrend over 3. The question here is where's an entry for me, right? I'm not in at 60, so it seems kind of tough to just buy it right here, right now. I kind of have to wait to see, try to get like a different area. Right here, I'm gonna watch for the early pullback. Now, here's the thing, right? When this stock pulls back, I cannot afford for it to go down to 260. If it does, I'll definitely take a loss. But in the event that we can hold high, a higher low, I'll be in, like seasoning, because that was a pretty bullish 5-minute candlestick despite ending red. Actually, hold up. Allow me the chance to be in. What was the high, by the way? This hold up. The high was okay. And is it a one and done dipshit? Yes, it is. Damn it! Damn it! Damn it! I gotta remember it's a $2 stock. I gotta use bigger blocks. You know, that's the key right now is to use bigger blocks. Gotta use bigger blocks is the key here. Early pullback holding up for now. Does the new 1-minute candle go over 90? Here's the new 1-minute candle. There's 89. There's 90. Not quite. The early pullback holding up, and the next level will be over 90. If we're strong, can we hold and maintain and then push over 90? It's reacting well for now. Son of a gun. It can we see can this go over 3 here though? I don't know. It's possible, but it's hard to say if it can pull it off. I'm gonna I'm gonna actually try to break out with small size here. There's 97. I'm gonna try it again. Oh well, no, tried it one too many times. Tried it one too many times. Okay, fine. Can we recover this dip though? These stocks will definitely take you for a ride, you know. Chew you up, spit you out, uppercut you, slap you 2 times, have you feeling pretty crazy. But it's just good business, and we can't allow it to get us frustrated, because then we start to become, like really compromised. I like this dip. If I like this dip here, if I get another chance at it though. Can we get another chance? It looks like it wants over 3 is what I'm seeing. But when we get up to 97, we need to like hold up and not, hey, right back down to 90, 91. We got to push through, and we'll see if there's, I don't even know. We probably might not have even, we might not have sellers up there at all in terms of like big orders. Sometimes you'll have big orders, but once we get close enough, we'll see. PAVS, come on. Whisper into my ears the sweet songs. Talk to me nice. Give me some sugar and some spice. Give me a bounce. Give me the moon. Give me the world. Is this how people talk to each other? I don't know. Let me pay attention here before it drops and gives me the depths. 82. I'm out. I'm out. Refuse to get caught in a bigger flush. But is it holding high? I mean, the VWAP moved up a little bit. So I got chopped out of that dip, is what it's looking like. Yep. You see, because it dropped down to 61 that first time, when we started to come down, I'm a little like, panicky, not willing to give it a couple cents leeway. Damn, so I'm not in, and it could go. What's the time? I mean, can we go? It needs to like really hold up that 90 level. We're getting up there, and then we're coming back down. Mm. Let me zoom out. Is it worth it? Maybe I need to wait for above $3 here. It's probably the best, safest trade now because we've like tested the lows so many times. We held up so many times, but we're not getting the resolution over the whole dollar. So eventually, it's like more like the more times we hold, the more likely it is to then drop, right? So, like right here, what's it gonna be? Titanic. 71. So unless it gets over, so here's my options right now. Over 3, I need to wait for it to go over 3, reset, give a new move, or there needs to be something beyond obvious here that says, hey, you can jump in whatever setup that could be before break of 3, but it'd have to be really, really, really obvious. If not, I think sidelines. BENF has hit the scans a couple times. That one doesn't look so good. The 5-minute chart is what really looks better on this stock. Like if we put a 5-minute chart here, the 1 minute looks terrible, but the 5-minute is what will show us like there's a bull flag going on, and there's a bottoming wick here at 61. And if the 5-minute candle is able to make the new high, like right here, we made the new high on the last 5-minute candle by 2 cents. So we got up to like 98, and then immediately it was like 90, 85. We didn't really sustain the move. So we need the 5-minute candlestick to make the new high again. And then hopefully that can push us up, because similar to the other stock, the pre-market high here is at 396. So if we get over 3, there should be room to the upside for it to fill gap. Even if it doesn't go to 396, at least 330, 340, something, Our volume going up has been higher than our red candles here. We're holding the VWAP still. So I'm kind of hoping we can eventually make the new high on the 5-minute candlestick, hold up the lows here, and, if not, it is Cook City. 61 is going to be a big level here. Big Steve, is Cactus long in this dip here? Maybe. Maybe. Let's ask him. Yeah, let me not throw this water away here. AMOD. How are we looking? It's a penny stock that's now starting out. Definitely carrying some risk for sure. I can't help but, I can't help but feel like this dip is worth watching. Like, it's holding higher, perhaps a higher low for now, but maybe I take 400 shares here and I can risk 40 bucks, which is 10 cents. And I'll take the starter here and I'll add lower if I can. If it stops me out, then it's just good business, right? I'll take the tight stop and then see what it does. This is a trade though. I mean, this is the type of trade I kind of just want to watch to see if it gets to $4 or $3 rather. And I didn't get to 400 shares. I only got 160 shares. The key was to add lower if it kept dropping, but sometimes when that volume spike come, I mean, right here, honestly, you know, even that is a good trade. When the volume spike comes, it's tricky because if I add aggressively at 73, 72, and it's a fake move up, then I'm in 73 big size and we're gonna drop to 60. And then you're kind of like, it's kind of a tough trade. Unless I treat that trade as a breakout trade here, which is like it has to go or like two cent stop. So our average is 68 with small size. The stock is telling me it wants to go over $3 here. Just like how Beyond had the intuition yesterday. Today I'm having a crystal ball here. And it is whispering into my ears over 3. So what I'm gonna do, if it gives an early pullback again, I'm gonna take it. The goal is gonna be it not retracing all the way to 260. Highs. Let's see how it does. Gotta put my money where my mouth is, where my intuition is. Or face the consequences of being frustrated. So if we get a dip, I'm taking it. If we don't get a dip, then I'm not gonna be in, sadly. But hopefully the trade at least works out. In that case, can we at least see some follow through? Show me over $3 here over time. Doesn't have to be in this candlestick. Over the next 3 to 5 minutes. Is the breakout trade worth it? It's tough to say. As in like the 5-minute candle making a new high trade. It could be interesting, but I don't think I'd use size because we could still see a slower move. The good thing with this one though is that once the volume hits, it does go up quickly. Can we see a move here in the next 5 minutes? PAVS. Some people are heading out. If you are heading out early here, take care, stay safe, stay green. Can the 5-minute candlestick make a new high and continue in its move? Again, only willing to take a couple hundred shares on that setup if it does happen. Bro, do not. Come on. Come on. Come on. 90, 90, 93, 93, 93. Do I hear 96, 98? Breakout. Why am I trying a breakout trade, right? Why am I trying a breakout trade? Per our analysis at the end of yesterday, '83, '80, '77. But so the 5-minute candlestick made a new high and then rejected. We had a, I don't know. This is where I start to lose patience, man. That's once and now twice. The 5-minute candlestick made a new high and rejected. Our volume, though, not as high as we would have needed. Will the third time be the charm? Will the third time be the charm? And it's not even guaranteed. We got a tight. We had a 61, 67. I need to mute my mic here. Jeez. Come on, surprise us. Surprise us here. Big Steve, is this wishful thinking? Am I seeing nothing here? Am I delusional of thinking this can go over 3 and have an uptrend? If the 5-minute candlestick rejects again, I think, I mentioned like we needed to see something obvious, and I ended up taking the trade at 68 because the setup I thought was obvious. If this one doesn't go, I'm definitely not touching it, below 3. If it doesn't go this time, assuming the 5-minute candlestick can make the new high, this even if it doesn't, I'm not gonna touch it. Show me something, please. This has to be it. If it doesn't go here, then we are certainly cooked. I'm so afraid of the breakout, actually. Right? I don't want to like take size, so I'm not gonna touch it. Just gonna let it go and then see what it does from there. fooled me once, it fooled me twice. If it fools me a third time, then, you know, that's just bad business. It's bad business, brother. Please, please, rip. Please, rip through the whole dollar here and become a new stock. Short sellers are definitely present. We can get some covering through the move if it goes. If not, Titanic disaster. Oh, 95. 97, 98, 3. Come on. You can do it. You can do it. Fly, fly. Oh, 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 come on, come on, come on, come on. Short sellers, man. Let's get one victory here for the day and then take it down. And then you can have it. Give us one move here. We're begging. Imagine we're having to beg for momentum on this one. Yeah. Well, yes, yes. That there. I'm adding. I don't care. I'm adding. Chasing it and I'm adding. Take me to 350. Take me to 350. Cover your shares, please. Ah, holy smokes. This is our destiny, brother. Big Steve. All of the patience there paying off for a small win. Granted, at a point, it's like you have zero expectation, so you don't even, you know, taking sides even there is hard to do. The key is for us to hold over high 90s. It's like what I want is like I don't see it, you know, like I want something more here out of this sweet dip, but it's like it doesn't freaking want to drop. We need short sellers to feel real pain. I have this stock going to 350. That's my call out here. 350 is the back of the mind target, which means diamond hands. I'm risking 150 here in this particular trade to make 600. Diamond hands, like I've never had diamond hands before. We must hold like our life depends on it. Unless it does something stupid, right? Because that can happen. Everything is telling me 350. My intuition is kicking in here. So I'm going to hold like my life depends on it and not cut this trade unless it stops me out. Come on, give me something to celebrate here. Give me something to smile about over the next 5 minutes. Diamond hands. Diamond hands. $24. Do I hear 30? Ah, you son of a gun. Where's the move, brother? Fly. Yes, there it is. 25. Fly, fly. Show us the afterburners. Boost. Nitro. Fast and the Furious. Show me the skyline. Damn, what's that car called again? I need to see some Dom Toretto action here. Some boosting. Our key is to hold high to mid 90s here. High to mid 90s is the key. We haven't seen a hyper scalping stock yet today. Kind of zoning out. I gotta keep paying attention here for potential ad. Fast and the Furious. Too fast, too furious. Man, this is definitely no hyper scalping, that's for sure. Unless this goes below 95, I'm not selling it. But I have to be careful about taking size there and it failing. Like if I buy aggressively, like 99, 98, 97, 96, and then it actually does drop is where I could lose money. So I just have to watch out for that. And other than that, like I'm still just looking to just hold this pretty much all day unless it stops me out. So my position is a smaller 876 shares and just kind of waiting here to see what it does. I still think it's pretty bullish. We have the gap all the way up to 96. Can we at least see 40, 50? If we're lucky, maybe 60, 70. But, you know, I'm at least thinking 40, 50 here. After breaking over such a big resistance at $2.99. And once we get to the place where we can take the size in the early trades, that's gonna be it, bro. That's the only thing I'm seeing that's hindering me right now. You know, execution stuff will always happen from time to time, but the key is just, you know, slowly and steadily just working on that issue to get better. Here's a retest of the highs at 24. Will we see a new high here? $20,000 share buyer coming in. There's a new high 30. Show me 35, 40. Where are those bulls, KB? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like we know we can. 50, 50, 50. Bro, come on, man. KB is alive and well. I'm actually very interested in taking the next pullback. Um, we got a high of 39, but granted, we did open up a little bit there, so got to be careful as to where we might drop. I have no idea. Kind of have to manage it as it goes. But looking to be patient nevertheless. Man. Forty-two, 50, 50, 50, 50, please. It's actually met my expectations. The pre-market high though is at 96. So it could keep going, but it's hard to say if we will. We kind of just have to use our best discretion here as we go. Nobody knows how high it'll go or how low it'll go if it does pull back here. We kind of have to use our best discretion. We might get the pullback here if we're lucky. If not, it might just keep going. There's 50. And it's a great trade, no doubt. So being that we could go to 96, the stock has met my expectation. Will it beat my expectation now is the next question. I'm willing to find out with size. Well, not with size, but like a good trade here if we get another entry. Bro, I'm feeling like Ross Cameron right now, man. I'm up 50 cents in a trade on my last couple of shares here. Holy smokes, dude! It's just going. It's going up too much actually. Like, which means like when the pullback comes, it's probably going to be done. I'm out my last 3 shares there at 57, and there's no. Oh, holy smokes! Damn, still going. There's no way of knowing how high it's going to go here. Again, it hasn't pulled back in so long. It hasn't pulled back since 328. if you ask me. So it's hard to say where that dip is going to be when it does come. And we're closer to 96 now. It's like almost filled the gap here pretty much. So do I have another entry? Probably not. It needs to it needs to pull back at least right here, like without going higher, you know. What are the odds we get such a big move and it holds tightly, you know? It happens, but you know, it's hard to trust it. Like if we like sometimes we get this type of move from 30 to 70 and then we pull back 8 cents. And it's like you're thinking in your mind there's no way it's going to hold up 360 and then it does and you know you're not in. Yeah, it's cuz it's just going all the way here. The only thing I could have done better there was again to just be in with more size. That's about it. Right now it's just way too extended to be back in again. It's too risky after such a big move without a red candle. Now anything could happen, especially that we've like closed in on like filling the gap. If I could go short, I wouldn't be short. I think it's just too risky. There's no hyper scalping, right? Just holding for an eternity with diamond hands. Notice the volume here is higher coming down than our move going up. Could be trouble. The new year, we should have no excuse into this new year. No broker excuse, no strategy excuse. It's just gonna come down to the mental game of myself versus me versus myself. And can I come in every day and win the battle of the mental mind? What we've seen in these last 2 weeks, there's no excuse of not being able to do what needs to be done on the hyper scalping stocks. Like it's a complete failure to not have flipped the switch and be confident in taking those trades. So what we can do moving forward is to look forward to the challenge of being better in those exact situations. The days are going to come again where a stock is halted up and we have to just take the trades we know and love in those situations that we've done for years. We have to just buy into that mindset of going for it, and keep working on also, you know, being in more aggressively earlier in the moves now on these slower moving stocks. Once we can master those two things there, we should be seeing green every day, almost all the time, every day. There's nothing that's telling me that we shouldn't, right? Especially if we're starting off slow, making sure that we're trading the strong stock. That's going to be the biggest key, is to just making sure we're trading the strong stock. That way, you know, we're not being aggressive on something that's going nowhere, but instead, you know, waiting patiently for the strongest opportunities of the day And then in a situation like this, where we're in right now, if the move is done or too extended to where we don't have a good setup, we just stay on the sidelines. So just have to keep working on the mental mind. The biggest thing for me right now, after so much time of like not seeing nice sweet days every day, having some hesitation in my mind when I'm stepping up to the plate, which is causing me to fumble some days and some moves. So have to continue to work on eliminating and erasing any doubt, and just follow the intuition every time, all the time, quickly. Cutting the trades that are not working, being in on a key setup that looks good, and not hesitating. Hesitation is going to kill us every time. So we have to slay those demons and just keep making progress one day at a time, slowly and steadily. And we're going to continue to be more refined over time, slowly and steadily, more refined. And then we're going to see a good year. We're going to see a good year because we're putting in the work. We're going to put in even more work. And that's just the nature of things. We're going to be rewarded for the discipline and the patience. I just held the trade for 10 minutes, which I never did in my life. So that has to mean something. In fact, I was in there from 33 to 48. That's 15 minutes total from my first position to my last position. It's definitely not hyper scalping in that type of trade there. So there's some progress to at least be happy about in terms of being able to hold a position. But I'm gonna take the gains off the table. It looks like the stock is still holding up here. For those of you who might, still be looking at some trades. 36 lows, highs of this range here, about 60. If it's able to get through 60, then there's maybe a chance it goes up to 70, 75, and 80 and retest those pre-market highs. So there's still some opportunities here, perhaps, but I'm gonna lock it in. We've had two rougher days to start the week, so kind of building back here. And when we have the days where there's a slower moving stock and a hot stock, we're gonna have to do a better job flipping the switch, man. That is gonna be mandatory for us to do well. But taking the small victory here. I don't think people are short yet in this move. In terms of like new short sellers, maybe some people might be going short right here, but I don't think it's a lot of people. So if it's gonna go, it's gonna be mostly just new traders buying the lows and like adding to positions from being in even lower. But can we continue to hold up the current bear flag? Oh man. Yeah, and Tim just made a good point right there, right? Like that is a bit, holding longer can be easy if we're always keeping in mind where our stop loss should be, right? It's this hyper scalper in us that just it's like you're having to rewire your brain. It's why it's kind of so tricky because what could get us out of a trade in the past is so simple, right? Literally, some selling hitting the tape can get us out of a position immediately. Versus now, it's like if I'm in at 310 and my stop is at 95 and I'm risking 15 cents looking to add more to the position, I should never be out unless the stock is below 95. But far too often, I still also have that issue where I'm in at 308, 305, 310, and the stock goes to 304 and I'm selling, and we never broke below the actual low of the support. And it's like, why am I doing this? Why? Why? Is that hyper scalper inside of us like forcing us to get out of the trade early, thinking it's gonna just go all the way down, you know? It's like, hey, just save yourself the additional 6, 7, 8 cents in this trade and just cut it now. But it's not the right approach here because the stock does not look weak or unattractive unless we break down that level. So jumping out early, we're doing ourselves a disservice, and it happens far too often to a lot of us who are especially trying to make the transition to holding longer in the trades. You know, some people used to say like it looks like this guy is trading like he's afraid, right? With hyper scalping, but that's kind of how the strategy was. Like the moment we go up and we hit some sort of ceiling, we're back out, and if we get through that ceiling, then we're back in for an additional push. Or the moment that we're in and it's not going, that alone is the stop instead of even waiting for it to like maybe hit a break even or like a particular price. Hey, I'm in on this dip. I'm looking for a quick bounce. It didn't go in 3 seconds. I'm back out, which is, you know, for some people is kind of ludicrous, right? I mean, it does sound kind of crazy saying it, but you know, it's the strategy that was printing here for the chat room. Millions of dollars generated, and maybe at least 100 lives changed. You know, it's coming down here below 336. Perhaps it's gonna pull back some more. All right, for those of you going the distance, continue to be disciplined, continue to be patient, continue to follow your strategy and trade the best A quality setups. Today, it's a successful day, another step in the right direction after a rough start to the week. You know, we're still looking to push ourselves to be better. Um, you know, I keep saying to the audience that for me, it's not about the money right now. Like financially, I don't have any worries. What does worry me is when I don't perform to the best of my abilities. And even today, at some point, like, you know, if you're watching at my face gesture, you'll see it like in the first stock that I traded, ATHA. I thought I should have been up over 1,000 on that stock. And at some point I started to kind of beat myself up a little bit, like how many times is it gonna take to just do what I know I'm supposed to do, you know? I can see it so clearly. It's there, and if I can see it in my mind, I can hold it in my hands. But it comes down to executing, right? So there'll be a few gestures of like, you know, putting the hand on the forehead and maybe like even the rolling of the eyes. But throughout all of it, I'm making sure not to go over a limit. Like there's a limit to the frustration that I can allow myself to have. But even then, we need to even cut down on that because even that is a distraction towards future opportunities, you know? So that is like another small mental thing that I can keep working on to be better. Hey, when you do have some hardship or some mistakes, just try not to get into your own head, you know? Is in those moments it's like I can't stop thinking about what I should have been up. And not necessarily the P&L per se, but like the trade itself. Like I should have been in there. I should have been in there. I should have been in there with more size. I should whatever. But the reality is like the more flatline our emotions are, the better we'll be able to perform. And so we have to fight our emotions really. It's not easy. This is why this thing is so hard, right? It's like the rules are very simple, really and truly. Hey, when it's a green light, go. When it's a yellow light, slow down. When it's a red light, stop. How many times do we go through the yellow light? We do it. We do it every time. Maybe it's just me, but you know, that's what it takes to be disciplined. In every aspect of your life, you have to always do the right thing all the time. And it's like more than trading at a certain point, right? Like you have to do the right thing at every turn, which is very demanding, believe it or not. I'd say it's very demanding, you know. You have to always do the right thing, you know, in terms of even getting like religious. You know, not everyone might be religious, but you know, if you're to look at the Holy Bible and what it says you should do in terms of living a peaceful life, living a good life, doing the right things, being disciplined. It's like the moment that you don't do something, it almost feels like it's the moment that your trading is gonna fall off. You know, like maybe this is like a little too deep, maybe, but it's like in every aspect, your professional, your personal life, you know, physically, you know, mentally, emotionally, you know, eating habits, gym, you know, going to work at the career, the day job, the 9 to 5, showing up on time. If we don't show up on time at our normal job, are we gonna show up on time to trade? Are we gonna show up on time to? If we don't show up on time to trade, are we gonna show up on time for our normal job? You know, like there's a lot of different things, but you know, we are human, but we have to try our best to stay as consistent as possible. And that's really the hardest thing about trading because we really and truly could learn the charts quickly is the ability to, you know, fight that part of your brain that makes you feel uncomfortable in the areas where you know the entry is available, right? So fighting your fears, fighting your emotions of fright because you could be vulnerable in an area in a setup, and being consistent with being courageous in those moments, you know? That's what it comes down to have that consistency, being brave in all those areas where we know the entry is available, but there is some risk in the trade. But at the end of the day, there's risk in everything, in our jobs, in our careers. Some people didn't even wake up today, you know, and so, you know, we have to have that perspective of going for it because the quote we wrote down 2 days ago was your desire for success is greater than your fear of failing. So we have to lean more on that side and be brave and take the trades because so many of us see the opportunities. Like, you know, I'm talking to Steve on the phone and we're like, Steve is like, man, like right here, we should be in with 5K size. And what do we both do? We both literally didn't take the trade at all. Like, it seems so, like it's so easy but so hard at the same time, you know? But the great traders, the people who we look up to, the people who we're trying to, you know, be more of, right? That better version of ourselves. The best version of yourself is taking that trade with an iron fist. And so that's what we have to keep working towards, you know. We see some crazy traders in the community pulling it off, which is very inspiring, you know. So we must take a little bit of that courage ourselves and just keep going for it. So the mission is clear. What we have to do is very clear. It just comes down to managing the risk and putting out our best effort every single time. That is the job description in this field, nothing else. The moment you become inconsistent within yourself, it's the moment that you're not going to see consistency in the market. There's no way around it. There's no shortcut, there's no trick. There's just you being a better version of yourself to handle the situation, handle any sort of pressure, any sort of trade, and come out on the other side. That's what trading is. So, you know, for those of us who are looking forward to being here in the next decade, the next 20, 30 years, what we have to do, it's right in front of us. It's not going to be easy, but it's possible and we can do it. So let's push ourselves and come out on the other side. With that being said, this is why they call me the pastor, because when it comes to motivation, I am second to none. Even the haters, the few haters who are watching, they're crying tears because It's such a good speech. Okay, this is where I kind of go left with it, but I'll shut it down and we'll be back next time for another beautiful day. Take care, stay safe, stay green.